again. Today, because we're celebrating the 65th anniversary of our independence, I'm still going to carry on. I'm carrying the mantle for coffee. So this evening, we've got Portia.
Hello.
And we've got Kit Yosin. Mr. Kit Yosin, my apologies. Hello. Yes. Just that it's really, really a privilege to actually celebrate one of the prominent, or I will say one of the most important aspects of our independence. But even when I say that, from your view, because I know that with the independence, it was supposed to have changed the law. So when you look at it from Gold Coast era until now, before we got the independence and then until now, what do you think the progress has been, and where do you think that moving forward we can actually go in terms of our independence? When I say that,
to me, or?
Yes, when you're looking at it, do you see it in a positive light, or do you think that currently there's more we can do? So either of you, Portia, do you want to go?
Okay,
Mr.
I'll go first.
All right,
okay.
Cool. Okay, ladies first.
Okay, thank you.
You're
thank
welcome.
you, Beatrice.
You're welcome.
First of all, before I start, I'd like to
introduce yourself.
Introduce myself and also wish all Ghanaians happy independence. Okay, my name is Portia Danso. I'm a member of the New Patriotic Party in the UK here and in Ghana.
Okay.
I'm also a member of the communication team,
okay.
And I'm also a member of a general member. I'm also an aspirant woman organizer for our upcoming election.
Okay.
I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all Ghanaians a happy 65th independence. Today is a celebration day for us to remember the struggles we've been from colonial days to independence of Ghana.
Okay.
So I'll take this opportunity just to wish all Ghanaians all over the world a happy Independence Day. Beatrice, touching on the question you just asked me in terms of development going forward, where would we like to see ourselves? It's a very good question. And I mean, for Ghana, I think we should start off by looking at the positivity of our independence. Because sometimes we say, oh, okay, it's Ghana independence, we celebrate it every year. What's the benefit, to Ghanaians, why should we even celebrate it? But I think what we forget sometimes is we celebrate it because we were under the oppression rule. We were under colonial rule, where sometimes I think we forget a little bit about our struggles and how we were not treated as human beings, for example. I mean, we were taken from Ghana to different countries around the world.
So now you're talking about slavery.
I'm talking about being captured, and I don't even like the word slavery personally. I like to think of us as captured people, because we had no option but to be transported to different countries. So we were captured under, colonial rule or under oppression rule. So, we've come through a lot of struggle. A lot of Ghanaians have died in order for us to now have the Ghana that we have. Sometimes we forget a little bit about the history where Ghanaians were not treated even as human beings. They wasn't even able to enjoy their country or their culture. They was taken for advantages, for all the assets of Ghana, for example, our gold, our material in terms of our cloth, cotton, and etc., etc. And, we were transported to different countries out of our will.
But the question that I did ask was, currently, do you feel that during the independence that we got, we have progressed? Because regardless of how we were taken... Go on.
I was going to touch upon that once I have finished. What I wanted to remind Ghanaians of is the struggle we've gone through in the past and where we are now as a free country, as a democratic country. This is why we celebrate independence. The fact that we are no longer under the rule of another colonial country or certain leadership. So we have developed or progressed in that sense that we are free as a country. But in terms of countries' development, one can argue, depending on where they're coming from. Some people live very comfortable life in Ghana. They have good jobs, they have money to sustain themselves, they have businesses, or kakrebi kra. Even the small that they do, they still manage to live life. Things are not always as bad as it seems.
Who says?
But I say,
okay,
because I've been to Ghana so many times,
okay,
and there is room for development, and I will get to that.
Yes.
However, we are not a country under war. We are not a country where we cannot transport food or grow food for ourselves or be independent or, move around from, one region to another. I can go holiday in Volta region. I can go to Cape Coast. I can go to Kumasi. I can go anywhere I want in the country as a free Ghanaian. So in terms of that, I think we're benefiting as a country.
Okay, so Mr. Yosen, yeah, I'll give you the opportunity, the same question, to say that when you look at it from your perspective, from our independence, the progress that we've made, have we made that much progress? Or is there room for development?
There's massive room for development.
Okay.
We have not made that much progress.
Okay.
Because we wanted to be free.
Yes.
From the whites.
Yes.
From the United Kingdom. And we fought our own battles.
Yes.
Until we got that freedom.
Okay.
Having gotten that freedom.
Yes.
We have rather disappointed our our colonial masters.
Which is true.
We were fighting for freedom. Now we are converging upon them. Rather, we are looking up to Britain.
Yes. Or the Western world.
Yeah, we are looking up to them because we believe in international trade in between countries.
Yes.
That's fine. But we have disappointed ourselves and them. So our forefathers who fought for us, they fought in vain.
Okay. When they say that,
NPP or CPP, Nkrumah or Dankwa, JB, they have shed their blood in vain.
Because I know you're saying it passionately. What are the things that you can pinpoint that you feel that they fought in vain? Because when you talk, previously when we did the program, we're talking about social and the economical aspect of it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And she talks about like the slavery aspect, which she doesn't want to do that. She says we were captured.
I will touch.
Oh no! What I'm saying is, no, what I'm saying is, as much as we're captured, because sometimes when we look at history, okay, after they captured us, in the end we started selling them off. So it's 1 out of a dozen. Okay, when you look at it and you're saying that the things that, like so far, there's more room for improvement. When you're breaking it down, what areas do you feel they need that stern room for improvement?
That's a very good question. When we had independence, there were certain structures in place in Ghana.
Okay.
These days, they are no longer there, and that's very serious. Instead of improving them, capitalizing upon them, we have watched them go down the drain, and we don't have it anymore.
Can you give us some examples, though?
Railway system.
Okay.
We had a railway travel from Accra to Kumasi to Takoradi.
Okay.
Instead of extending the railway, the triangle system, we have done nothing.
Wow.
So when you want to go to northern Ghana, Wa or Bogatanga and all that, that's a big ask.
Yes.
Driving all the way to that place, 10, 20 hours driving. Had we extended the railway train services, you could just travel, just have a London to Glasgow, all under 5 hours or 6.
Which is true.
You should have taken us from Accra to Wa or Bokatanga 6 hours or not less than 10 hours. But now it's not there at all.
Okay.
You see, it's not there at all. So we are already going back even to pre-independence times, which is a bit worrying. It's very worrying.
Okay, so I throw the same question to you in that aspect.
All right, thank you, Beatrice. In that aspect, I would like to categorize it in 4 sections.
Okay.
And I would say yes, there is major room for improvement. Okay. I'm not going to deny that or kid myself. There's definitely room for improvement. I think number one, the people we have to take individual responsibility as a country. For example, if you're walking on the street and sometimes you want to put something in a bin, there's no bin providers by our government, unfortunately, or any other government or any public sort of bins. There is, but when you go to the bin, it's probably full. So what do? Keep your bin with you. Me in this country, I have a terrible habit of keeping my bin with me until I get to the bin, the right place to dispose of it. But we have a country where the people don't care. The people want better, but they're not actually doing better for themselves for us to get to that place. You know, we have a lot of individual responsibility now with Ghana. For example, our youth. Our youth is a major obstacle for us as a country.
When you say they're an obstacle, can you break that down?
In terms of the insults we're getting on social media, you know, if you look at the Caucasians, for example, or the Western world, people don't use social media for that. You can use social media to air out your grievances or your disappointments or whatever a point of view you want to air.
So when you relate to
our
independence,
Ghanaians, our Ghanaians are using the social media for insults and to bring governmental leadership down. Now, I know that we have issues with some leadership. I'm not saying our leadership is perfect, but in terms of independence, you know, because of democracy, you know, we've got to that level where everybody is free to talk. Nobody.
So you're talking about freedom of speech.
The freedom of speech has gone way beyond.
But don't you feel?
What it should be.
No, but let me tell you something. Don't you feel that aspect? Don't you feel that aspect has been emulated from what the adults do?
Well, yes, of course, because they say there's no smoke without fire. However, you have to know, say, you are projecting your country. And when you are projecting your country, you're not supposed to be projecting it in a negative view. That does not mean you cannot say what you want to say, but you're not supposed to disgrace your country. And even in Ghana, your motto, your ethics, you know, that is exactly what it's about. Is, you know, having high esteem of your country, and not disgracing your country. So the people is a major fact. I saw earlier the first show with our host Kofi Kula. He showed a video, and you saw the video from, you know, from one of they acknowledged the reference of the video from City FM, so I can mention it. And, you know, it was a marketplace where it was not looking very appropriate. Why was it not looking appropriate? Nobody made it look misappropriate. It was the people that were selling at the market that meant to just dump everything on one spot and make it look bazaar. So I said, do we always have to have the white man, to come into our country to tell us how to do things in a neat order or you know, a good order? Do we need to wait for somebody to tell us, oh, please clear it up and answer.
And as you've said that, you hold that. So, Mr. Kityosin, your view on this, when you look at as society, using sort of like not taking care of the country and giving blame to the government, how do you see it? Because I know that during the independence, because sometimes when you look back, you saw that the places were clean and tidy. But all of a sudden, it's like, as Portia says, everything is become chaotic.
Disorder.
Become very chaotic. It's become very, very untidy. How do we rectify that?
We can do that via proper control of the structures we put in place. And mind you, government is just like a management,
which is true.
Charge. So if things are not going right, what actions has the government or the managers of Ghana taken? No action at all. That is the problem. Because she made a very strong point.
Which is true.
You know, when you see
cleanliness,
you know, cleanliness, we are out of that area, and we've got Ministry of Health, Environmental Health, and all that. They are not effective. If they are not effective, who must bear the brunt? Whom should we blame? It goes to the leadership, which is very unfortunate. Our leaders are not working. I would digress a bit. If you travel to Kumasi from Accra to Cape Coast or Takoradi and all that, you see one thing in common. There are, for instance, no transport police. So anything can happen, the Boku, Navrongo Road, Takoradi, Kumasi, nobody cares. The people who care are in air-conditioned offices. I mean the police top officers. Either in the police headquarters or regional headquarters, with their nice, ties and all that. They sit down in air conditioned offices. They expect their poor policemen and women to go in the sun, in the heat, without proper. They don't even look after these policemen and women. I would rather they had some posts whereby these ladies and gentlemen, these police men and women will go and take a bit of a break in a bit of, if not an air-conditioned room, a very cool atmosphere. No, those people, they are distressed, really on the street. The hot sunshine is still in there.
So now, when you say that, when he talks about them not getting the right sort of like support, how do you feel that? Because when you look at independence, it's supposed to have been an improvement. So now, I always keep saying, and my word is, how do we change that narrative?
Well, I think the biggest thing we can do to change that is education. And education does not always mean that we have to sit in a classroom to get educated. I think the one thing that whichever government's in power, whether it's MPP, NDC or CPP, whichever government's in power, I think we have a responsibility of public awareness, where we're doing public awareness, where all our education is going through the public awareness, where it's going through TV, media, social media and things like that. Because it's not just, one-to-one or classroom education where it gets. You can do mass advert just to educate people do not litter. It's just we have to make it a priority. We have to set our priorities right, you see, because the responsibility of the cleanliness, for example,
that environment,
the environment lies with our individual, with our people, because the government can set, like you're saying, the government can set things in place, but if the bin is there and you don't use it.
So why don't
it can be provided, but you don't use it?
Put a fine, because I realize that when people pay for
public awareness needs to be there.
But when you put public awareness,
people need to.
No, but Portia, when you put public awareness, yes, when you talk about public awareness, one thing I realize is when people are paying for something, they actually pay attention. So then, why don't we put structures in place that if you litter a place,
you get a fine and 100%. Stuff like that? Yeah, but the thing is, things like that is difficult to come in place because Ghanaians.
Yes.
You'll be doing it for the better of them, but they think you're punishing them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You'll be doing it, and the government doing it, they'll be the one that's unpopular. And they will be the one that will not be getting the votes. So it's difficult, because, something's got to give. I think at this stage, 2022, the people are a lot more educated and a lot more enlightened, okay, than what we give them, the credit we give them. They are, because even if you go on the roads and you're driving on the road from Accra to towns and villages, you see them sitting on their laptops and stuff like that, watching the whatever they want to watch, their movies and stuff like that. So basically, they're in tune with modern times. So we can do that public awareness, to take advantage of that and, maybe build upon that. Like I said, the people is number one to your question.
Yes.
The government can do what they want, but the responsibility lies with the people, the mindset of the people. And the government's responsibility is to do that public awareness, to link the people with, whatever we need to do to better the environment, for example.
Okay. So sometimes we look at things that is going on in our country. We look at how the children are growing up. We look at how, when you look at independence, it's supposed to be a turning point, whereby looking at the country, it was supposed to be far progressed in everything, in education, in health, because you talked about the environment. We talked about mindset. You see, what is holding us back as a people?
Well, I think what's holding our country back is the infrastructure and also the institution is a major part of it.
When you say institution?
Yeah. When I say institution, I mean the government offices where they're there, whether MPP is there, whether NDC is there, but they still got a job. For example, you go to GRA, you go to Ghana Revenue Authority, or you go to Registrar Office, for example, to register your business. It's like going to the worst place in the world.
Really?
You want to go there as somebody from the diaspora to register your business. You know, it's like you're climbing Mount Everest. It's the most difficult thing you can ever go through. And that is not the government's fault. It's the individual person that's working there that thinks that, you know, they have to be given some extra benefits just to do their job.
Don't they get paid?
They get paid.
Okay.
They get paid. But when you go there, they look at you, for example, and maybe you come from this nice, distinguished man.
I know.
I'm sure you can pay a little bit extra, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So they look at you like that and they expect that little extra to do their job. And it's really, really not fair, because it's holding us back as a country and it's holding us back to development. You go to the port, for example, and the structures and the process are there, but that individual person is where the problem lies. And then we cannot make progress, and you take one day to do something, but it will take you a whole month to actually do that thing, and it becomes a problem. And our infrastructure does not grow, does not develop, and you know, we're not moving forward as a country. So it's individual responsibility as a whole, because those workers there, they're really, really frustrating the process, honestly. And the politicians are always taking the blame for it. Yes, they are. They have some responsibilities, major.
We're back again. We had to take a little break. Now, when you look at so far what is going on in Ghana, okay, let's talk about the Ukraine aspect of it, because sometimes you look at there's some of the videos that when I saw was quite disheartened. Okay, now when you are seeing people saying that I don't want to come back to my country, I don't want to do this. We had independence. Aren't we supposed to be embracing our country? When you see those videos, how does it make you feel? And currently, where we are now, isn't it a time whereby somebody's supposed to say, I want to go back to my country? So when you look at it on that aspect, how are you going to sort of like view it? In which direction would you tell people, oh, you have to come to your country because your country is this, you know, is improving? How would you do it?
If you look at the situation in Ukraine, it's very sad, and it shows you how sad when a war comes to your country it is. However, I have to commend, you know, our current president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, because, you know, he's actually airlifted a lot of Ghanaians from the middle of the war zone. You know, the students that are studying there, all of them have been evacuated. And, you know, as soon as, we were brewing up with information that war is coming, you know, straight away the government, you know, went into action. And airlifted most of our, all of our Ghanaian students.
Is it all of them?
Yeah.
Because I know there's some people that they said they didn't want to come.
Those ones is their choice.
But
so the opportunity was there. To airlift them to either a neighboring country or back to Ghana. So the opportunity was there. You know, and he did it so swiftly. And, you know, there was no this and that about it. You know, everybody was lifted as one. And I believe that, you know, he did an absolutely marvelous job doing that, because that's the kind of leadership that we need in modern times. You do not know what could happen. For example, 2020, the coronavirus, the same thing. You know, when we couldn't, there was no fly zone, we couldn't get flights, you know, operating. He went straight to China. He had a whole container full of food, yam, this, that, what they like to eat. And, you know, he sent it over to them in order for them to be comfortable in
after
such a
they threw them out. So, I've given you,
situation.
yes.
So, yeah, the government actually conditioned the country very well for people from abroad, from the diaspora, to come back home. We've opened a diaspora office at the Jubilee House. And, you know, the leader there, Mr. Abibio, he's actually doing such a wonderful job. And, you know, even though it's a professional establishment, where if you want information like business registration, you know, how to survive as a diasporan in Ghana, he can provide you with that kind of information. He's also made it a very friendly place where you can just go, you know, and say hello to him, and, you know, you're from the Caribbean or wherever you're from, and, you know, it's a very welcoming place. So in terms of Ghana right now, we have definitely as a government conditioned the country, to be a very accommodating country for diasporans. There should be nothing to stop us if that's what the move that you want to take.
Okay, so now the same question goes to you, that with everything that's going on, and you look at the people not wanting to come back home, why do they feel that they don't want to come back home? And do you think that the current government has done its best to actually help the people that are going through those atrocities in Ukraine?
Well, thank you very much. But you see, we cannot discuss Ukraine without understanding what Ukraine means for us Ghanaians.
Okay.
Unless people don't know. NPP itself didn't want to have anything to do with Ukraine or Eastern Bloc, Poland, Czechoslovakia, name it, Russia. They didn't want to do anything with it.
Really?
Yes, they didn't. JB Damkobuzia, all of them, the great-grandfathers, they did not want anything to do with Russia. And if today they have something to do with Russia, then we thank God. Some of us, Nkrumah's children, Progressive People's Party, Convention People's Party, we thank God that today NPP has some interest in that part of the world. They never.
Why was that?
Yeah, because they said they were communists. Nkrumah was going communist. They didn't want China and Russia. They didn't want to do anything with it. Today, our God is China. Ghanaians' God is China. And of course, Russia. We're looking at that. Ukraine that you were talking about. Nkrumah, when Nkrumah started, he took a lot of Ghanaians there for training. Not just Ukraine. A brother of mine was a medical doctor. He was trained in Ukraine.
Okay.
I know
I didn't know that.
My sister-in-law is a Russian.
Ah.
It's a Ukrainian.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Okay.
But in those days, the NPP, that's the Busia and Co, said they condemned anything to do with Russia and that part of the world. These things we must not forget, but they are not in history books.
Okay.
It's very sad.
Okay.
We didn't like it.
Yes.
We didn't like it. We didn't even like China. But a Ghanaian guy whom Nkrumah took to China.
Yes.
It's called Have from Volta region.
Okay.
They didn't like him. They mistreated him. So he ran away to USA. And they wrote a book called An African Student in China.
Okay.
So all Nkrumah's thing, reproduction. When NPP was condemning Nkrumah, the other side was not. Right now, I'm glad that NPP2 goes to China and NPP2 goes to Ukraine and all that. That's a good step, a step in the right direction. But what Ghanaians must do is that we must really support the plight of the Ukrainians. They trained a lot of doctors for us.
Okay.
The Ukrainians. They did. In fact, including the Russians themselves. You know, Nkrumah had so many scholarships for Ghanaian students.
To go to Ukraine.
So not just Ukraine, the whole of the Russian Federation, USSR, and Poland and all these countries, you know, we must. All I want in Anadu is to say that Nkrumah did well to go to that part of the world.
Oh, okay.
He did so well.
Okay. So
I have to comment on what my honourable friend has spoke about today, about Ukraine and Nanadu, you know, helping Ukraine. It's a very sad situation, but I think that it's best that Ghana stays out of it, to be honest with you. Because Russians have, you know, declared very clearly that if you get involved with it, you know, it has consequences. I don't think that Ghanaians should get involved in that sense, because if, you know, sorry to say, Ghana for war and Ukraine or it will not come to our rescue. So, you know, sometimes we have to think of each other. You know, you help me, I'll help you. But how many people help Africans when we are in it?
Black people
people in general when we are in a time of need. And, you know, we don't want to bring the war into our front door.
We don't want to bring it to our backyard. Our
backyard. It's something is out of our
is it
control and
because
it's nothing to do with us.
Okay, because there's a question too that I wanted to ask. Because I know somebody is asking, why am I talking about Ukraine? I'm talking about Ukraine because we're looking at independence. And we're looking at the fact that if you've got your independence, it's supposed to attribute you some form of respect. But when you look at how they're not letting black people go on the trains, do all these stuff, and you're saying that they train some of us,
over there.
it's very discriminative. So it's like sometimes when we're looking at certain issues, how do we stay out of it? Because we go there.
Yeah, I was quite surprised at the level of students that's actually over there. But obviously Ghanaians are like, immigration is everywhere. People go from one country to another. And I've heard that the education system too is not bad. However, when it comes to Ghana independence, we have worked very hard from where we were and where we are now. And I think we should just make sure we stay middle grounded and help our citizens over there not to get caught in the middle of the crossfire or anything like that.
But they are in the middle.
They are in the middle, and that's why I was saying that, my government has worked very hard to bring, stranded students back to their home country or to a safe nearby country where they'll be out of the war zone. So credit to our government, and we hope that, they'll continue on that front, to keep people safe. The most important thing is for Ghanaians to be safe wherever they are and not to get in the middle of the war zone. So that's my opinion.
Okay, so building up on that, we look at factories, we look at so many stuff. The Honorable actually said prior, everything has gone down. Yes? Every government, and this is not pointing fingers at anybody, but actually being real. How do we find a way to actually build on that? Because, as you said, we cannot say that people are not enlightened. Yes? Because when we say people are enlightened, using a mobile phone might not be enlightened. It's just being able to use a tool, which is a phone. Yes? Enlightenment is being able to understand that in the long term, whatever you do brings progress. So, Honorable, sometimes when you look at these things, and I know that you've been around in the era of probably politics in terms of the growth and the decline. In your view, you were saying that, how do you feel that we can build on that?
I think we need a very powerful leader without being...
when you say powerful...
Powerful leadership we need.
We have a very powerful leader.
We've had a powerful leader.
We didn't say dictator though, but... No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're correct. We did have a powerful leadership in Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay.
Explanation is that this was a man who could talk to Khrushchev of the Soviet Union and Kennedy of the USA. Cold War. In those days they were going to war. And Nkrumah went in between them to speak to them, to calm things down.
Okay.
And he said something which was also very intriguing, that we know what to get involved in Mr. Putin's stuff. Of course we've got to get involved.
Why?
Of course. Look, it's not just Ghanaians, it's Africans. When Nkrumah went there first, Nigerians followed us to Russia. That's USSR, used to be Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. So Ukraine is part of it. Okay? And after that, other African countries followed Nkrumah, Ghana, to that part of the world for trading, because it was very expensive to come and study in the United Kingdom. You didn't have that sort of sterling to pay. But for the poor souls, once you finish secondary school and you apply, you get a scholarship, you go for free. Even from plane fare out to university education in Soviet Union was free.
Okay.
And I said, a brother was one of them. He went there for free, he studied as a medical doctor for free as well. So many Ghanaians did. But what we owe it to the Russians, to the Soviet Union, that if today they are fighting, we must go and talk sense to them. We are not scared
So
of
when you
them.
say getting involved, you're not talking about participating in the war.
No,
We're
no,
trying
no.
to find some civility.
Yeah, but Ghana, we haven't got whatever it takes to participate.
Yes.
but we really got to sit them and talk to them. We can't. We are just a fly on the wall, I know.
Okay.
So we need powerful leadership.
So you're talking about the calm.
Yeah, we started, Ghanaians started going into USSR. All the Russia and all the Poland and Czechoslovakia, we were the first to start. And other African countries follow us. Black people, we like things for free.
Yes.
So they
Yes,
also,
so we like things for free. What people do like things for free? Why do you think there's a buy one get one free?
No, that's to get the customer. So having said that, this is the time that we have to pay back to them, to the Russians, so not just Russians, USSR, by getting in touch with our AU, African Union. African Union must send a delegation to that part of the world to bring peace.
Is the AU functional?
It is functional. But Nkrumah formed it. So MPP is not comfortable talking about AU, but they're still there. Last time Nkrumah went to Addis Ababa. But
MPP are very comfortable and talk about AU because Akufo-Addo is the leader of the AU.
They also said it was.
So we are very, very comfortable.
I'm glad that she's saying that she's the first lady who said so.
Who's admitted that
Nkrumah was great. I didn't hear you.
Nkrumah, definitely we have to give honor to Nkrumah. Nkrumah did a lot for Ghana. However,
okay, let him
finish. Because I have my opinion about what he said earlier on the earlier show.
So when that man brought AU, it used to be Organization for African Unity.
But they started.
And people said Nkrumah was a madman.
Why?
Yeah, because he wants to be a president of Africa.
Because he was a dictator ruler. He wanted a one-party state.
Very, very interesting. You understand? Yeah. He said Nkrumah was he wanted to be a president of Africa. That's why he's talking of African unity. Thank God.
Yeah.
Even the British.
Is that thank God?
Even the British said it. The British said it.
But they did EU, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay.
And a copy of
when Nkrumah was talking of AU, African Unity, in the 1950s, long even before independence. And the British people and the Europeans say, Nkrumah was a madman. He's talking of African Unity and all that. They know that if we got together and we put our resources together, we will be second in the world.
Precisely.
Look at Congo. Go to Congo.
For a second.
I know, right?
So many things you got in Africa. Assuming Nkrumah says, let's trade together as one Africa and face the world. We would have been a happy continent.
Yes.
Do you understand? So we benefited a lot from the USSR, Eastern Bloc. All I'm saying is that African leadership, AU, must send delegation to go and resolve this Ukrainian problem. It's very sad.
What will they be getting out of it when they?
Happiness. If you go to
whose happiness?
Happiness in Ghana.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure
Let me
out.
tell you, if you go to
No, when you say happiness, whose happiness?
Ghanaians' happiness as well. Because if you go to Accra today, there's a lot of Polish women, Czechoslovakian women, Ukrainian women, Russian women. They are all there. Why? Because Ghanaians went there to marry them.
No!
Yes, they did.
They did. Oh, sorry. I didn't
The
know
Ghanaian
that.
students went there to marry them.
Why?
Because they were happy to come to Africa than stay in the Soviet communist system. That's what it is.
Wow.
So the ladies were just chasing.
So that's that type of happiness
No,
that
no,
you
no,
want
no,
there.
no.
I'm just trying to figure out.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right now we've got relatives who are Polish or Russian, Ghanaian, Polish, Czech, Ghanaian, which is great.
Yes.
Do you understand?
No.
So this is there. If you go to Accra, I'll take you to a certain place.
Oh, sorry.
I'll take you to a nice restaurant where you see Polish, Czechs, that's just beautiful.
Yes?
They are Ghanaians.
Okay, Portia,
Because
please.
they were married into
Please
Accra.
throw your 2 cents in. I thought we're losing our black men, but boy, Polish women, oh no. No.
Well,
Now we kind of diverted a bit because my stomach just went a little bit oozy. So now, when you look at the development that you say your government is done, yes? When you look at the independence, can you sort of like give us a little bit of a breakdown?
No, D, I know you said we say, but we actually have implemented a lot of things.
Okay, go on.
For example, the one factory, one district.
Where is it? Oh, okay.
It's all over the country.
Okay.
And if you
that's what I'm saying. If you break it down,
research, you actually see where these factories are.
Okay.
There was a lot of.
No, you're supposed to tell me.
Yes, there was a lot of factories that was under, developed. We've come there.
Please name some, but don't tell me that I should do my research. You're the one that has to defend yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
So when you say you've got some areas that you've developed, is it incarnation?
I mean, I don't want to talk off my head because I don't have much information with me right now.
Okay.
This program was a bit of a rush, and I stepped
you don't even have to say that. I mean, with me, it's just that.
But definitely, we have made a lot of progress in our country, and if you look at how stable Ghana is, it is absolutely stable because when the NDC was in government, the country was very destabilized. We had businesses collapsing left, right, and centre across the country. We had businesses all over the country collapsing. We had Dumso, your number one trade. The NDC number one trade of Dumso, where you walk around the country and you hear what do you call it? Power generators, all over the country making noise and, calling John Mahama's name,
And then we fixed it, and then you lot came and then took credit.
You fixed it. I remember personally going to Ghana at the late stages of John Mahama's, ex-president John Mahama's time.
Okay.
Before he stood down. And, I went for 3 weeks and I had 2 days of electricity out of the 3 weeks. So I don't know what you fixed. But I know that.
Oh, wow.
I know that. When the NPP came to government, we have the country is stable, the country is peaceful. Yes, the country is very peaceful. If you disagree, please tell me what you. No.
No.
There is anywhere where you can say.
When you finish.
When you an individual tribal, this kind of thing. I know any government.
Okay.
But we are a very peaceful country.
We are.
Okay. Yeah, we are a very peaceful country, and we've moved forward from the old days of the NDC rule, where our conditions of the country in terms of business and finances were very, very, very appalling. We've made the education system a better place, where we've opened education system for a lot of children to be participating and getting the rightful education. Before it was very difficult if you could not afford education. Some children would not be going. You see children selling on the street corner, on the traffic lights.
As they stopped.
It's definitely gone down. If it's there, it's because of the individual circumstances. And sometimes we cannot ignore it. Okay, it's the individual circumstances that is there. But in terms of accessibility to school, from primary to SHS, you have free education. You can actually attend school unless you want to take your child to a private school, which is by choice. But when what the government provides is free education up to SHS level, and Ghana should be very proud of that status right now under the Akufo-Addo administration. If we look at in terms of transportation, state coaches are running from different regions to region. The finances, the charge is very, very reasonable for people to commute from A to B to C to different regions. Stagecoaches, we've increased the level of stagecoaches that we've provided within the country. We've increased, road accessibility. We have.
I can say, Mr. K, you're also writing stuff down.
Yeah, you can write whatever you want, but it is what it is, And we've been, we called it the year of the roads. We've done a lot of. Go to Tema. Go to, for example, go to Sakumono. You will love driving there. The roads are like perfect, and I drive around and I say, wow, these roads are really, really, really good. But we need maintenance. We need to make sure that the roads are also maintained for the longevity of it. But we have increased on developments in terms of projects. There are a lot of social developments where we have housing.
Where?
We have a lot of state housing being built for working class people. If you want to buy a state housing, go look at Adenta. We have loads of them built there. We have state housing built in Western region. We have state housing built in Eastern region. We have state housing corporation built in Ashanti region, where Kufuor's government, left it up to a certain degree. NDC came in power and totally neglected these projects. We have come back in power and we have continued with these projects, and they are now available and accessible to working class people.
You see, because
what I will tell you is
because it's very
take the opportunity of these projects. Don't just sit there and dismiss them and say
screaming doesn't actually deter anything.
No.
My point is because I'm
take
a
the
host,
opportunity of these projects.
I am not even going to interject.
As a working class
so I'm going to give Mr. Dawson the opportunity to interject, because it's going to be very difficult.
There's no need to interject when there's a factor out there.
Well, it's kind of like being in space. They said it's out there. So, Mr. Dawson, please, can you give us your submission?
I was started by free education in November last year.
Yes.
2021.
Yes.
I went to a place called Hafasini.
Yes.
Getting close to Ivory Coast.
Yes.
I was going to a particular place, and I saw a little girl.
Yes.
Crying profusely.
Oh.
And this is a girl.
And you're not NDC, are you?
No.
Okay.
For me, I'm Progressive People's Party.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yes.
And I tell you what, this little girl was crying. And I asked why. She speaks in Zima.
Yes.
So the guy that I was working with, he understood the language.
Okay.
And I said, why are you crying? She was in a school uniform. She was crying on the street corner. And said, touch my heart. And I said, let's find out what's going on. And she says, they've sacked her out of school because she got to bring exam fees.
What?
And the examination fees.
But I thought it's free education.
And this is a girl on the 10, a very little girl. In fact, she looked like 8.
Okay.
But apparently she was 10 years old.
Okay.
So I went to her school.
Yeah.
She was crying. I said, why? She said, the grandmother, she lives with her grandmother. And the grandmother says she hasn't got money to pay that exam fee.
Oh.
And so she must go and bring
How much was it?
I'm coming to that. It's about 30 Ghana cedis, or 25, between 25 and 30. Grandmother hasn't got it, so she said, go to school and bring your book back. So the girl, naturally, she was not happy. That's why she was crying. So I went to a school, asked, and I paid for her.
Oh.
I'm not just making a big deal because I will pay for her. But so, I understand it's a degree of free education in Ghana.
How long ago was this?
But we need explanation of it. It's not entirely free.
Yes.
You wouldn't have a primary school girl here in UK to go and play. Examination fee, not school fee. Exam
Okay,
fee.
can I let him finish?
Examination fee.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And it's glad to know that the NPP government is now building housing accommodation for people, which I would thank God for that, if it is true.
Yes.
But if it is true, we want,
true.
you see, we want to see NPP communication, Minister of Communication and Minister of Information are not doing good jobs because they must report to us, the people of Ghana, what they are doing.
Which is true.
The manifesto promises they give to us is a bit of a joke.
Okay.
One district here.
One district, one factory.
Yes, one district, one factory.
Yes.
We all thank God that, oh God, every district is going to have a factory. But it's not true.
It's very true. It's very true. The facts are out there at the end of the day. You just need to
we
look
want
at it
to have a list
and not
of
deny the
such,
fact.
we must have a list.
So are you saying we don't have any state corporation building houses? We don't have any state government houses? We have not looked at
No,
but if Kwame started it, we are continuing now at 2020.
No, 2022.
2022. Sorry. The state. The fact of the matter is, we have built state houses and they are there. So you cannot come and sit here and say.
Which year?
This current year, the previous year, all the years we've been there,
even
we have had state housing built.
Even Anadu will say it's a mistake.
No. What's a mistake?
We
have had state housing built. We continue to build state housing.
I want to challenge
state housing is there. If you are, you can afford.
That was what I did ask.
Sorry?
That was what I did ask.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we just MPP should politely give us a list of all the one district, one factory where
We have given it.
No, you
Yeah, we
haven't.
have. Yes, we have. You just
But
don't
you
want to
okay,
look at
okay.
it.
No.
I
Look
will
for
do it. I will do it.
Oh, there you
You see
go.
what they are
Yes.
doing? They are doing in April.
Yes.
The NDC's got a program. MPP's got a program in April this year.
Okay.
They are going to revive Kwame Nkrumah's Commander Sugar Factory.
Yeah,
Maybe
because
that's someone
Commander
to-
is
next
an
month.
embarrassing
And
thing for
Kwame
all of
Nkrumah's
us.
is a Kwame Nkrumah's project. It's not
Yes.
MPP project.
Yes.
All they have to say is, so we are going to revive Nkrumah's project. We will clap for them.
Which is
but
true.
as if they are creating it. We don't want a government that's lying to the people. We don't want that.
We never said we're creating it from beginning. Look, we are in government now. We've taken the responsibility for these initial establishments for us to continue and build upon it. We never said, hey, we started it first and everything. CPP needs to be responsible, in these modern times for people to take them on board, or PPP, should I say? Because you cannot tell us, we haven't built state housing when we have. You cannot tell us, these are Kwame Nkrumah's initiative when we are not denying it. All we are saying is, as a responsible government, we have taken that responsibility and we are building upon them for our development. So do not sit here and tell us, we haven't built state housing properties when we have.
What I'm saying is that
Okay.
we want NPP to come out honestly to appreciate Nkrumah for what he has done and to tell the people
Well, we
we
do,
are going
but
to
I don't know what you want us to do about
They've got some
Nkrumah.
cheap pride in them.
This is in the past. We need to move on as a country.
It's not in the past.
It's in the past.
They have cheap pride in them, and it's not going to take them anywhere. That's why they are struggling. Now Nanadu is telling us to support him. We support.
What?
Ghanaians to
You support them as you support Nanadu as your president in power, as your president of Ghana today, and you support him as a respected person because he has Ghana as his heart, and he is a visionary leader. And everything that he has said he would do, he has done it.
No.
It's about time. It's about time the opposition parties
you are talking about
responsibility. Took responsibility in development of Ghana and stop bringing down the government of the day. Because all you do is bring down the government of the day,
so the
bring everything down.
The presidential jet,
What
he takes your girlfriend in there. Is it part of the manifesto?
Listen, the presidential jet,
what I'm saying is the progress of Ghana. You see,
he was also in a private jet.
You see, the thing is, I think we seem to be getting off the subject, because the reason why I say that is when we ask a question that where are the factories, you said they are there. When we say certain stuff, you said, are we saying this? You see, the thing is, I always say my politics is not about who I support, but me being Ghanaian first. Do you understand me? And being Ghanaian first,
that's how we are as well.
That is what needs to actually be addressed. When you say we've done this, Kate Yosin said, Mr. Kate Yosin said, give us sort of like a list or give us something. It's not about you being upset. If I know I've done something, what do? I'll just tell you, okay, I've done it in Hackney. So now, you say you've done it, you're talking about respect. It cuts both ways. When NDC was in power, there were loads of things that they did, but with me, I'm not here on any party stuff. With me, I'm just trying to say that respect is earned and is reciprocated. Do you understand me?
Can I just give you some information on the one factory, one district? I'm just going to give you on a regional basis, and later on I can pinpoint exactly where they are.
All right, go ahead.
In the Upper Eastern region, we've built 7 factories. In the Upper West region, we've built 6 factories. In Northern region, we've built 6 factories. In Ashanti region, we've built 31 factories. In the Western region, we've built 9 factories. In Central region, we've built 18 factories. In Volta region, we have built 14 factories. In Greater Accra region, we have built 79.
So it's from what period to what period?
Well, from the time period that we've been in government. In Oti region, we have built 3. In Savannah region, we have built 4. In Ahafo region, we have built 4. In Bono East region, we have built 12. Western region, we have built 4. And Bono region, we have Bill 24. Okay? If you want to find out, you can find out. It's easy to sit in opposition and always bash the government of the day. Because it makes you look politically good.
No, I tell you what,
but at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is, if you wanted to find out the fact, you will do a deeper research and you will find out the facts. Because these facts, if you are coming with, information to say, oh, there isn't any information out there, they're out there. But I can also reference you, say, moti.government.gh.com is on there. If anybody wants to go on that website, they can, and they'll get the full list of government projects that we have done.
Okay.
Also, in terms of the State Housing Corporation Limited,
Yes.
if you are a working class citizen,
Yes.
and you want to buy government housing, government affordable housing, just go on the website. It's statehousing.gov.gh, and you can find an application form. Even you yourself, Beatrice, the gentleman over here, he can make an application for affordable housing. And it's not a problem. It's for all Ghanaians, okay? statehousing.gov.gh. And you'll find the 3 steps, very, very simple steps, in order to obtain affordable housing. It's very, very easy to sit in opposition and blame the government of the day. However, I believe, the opposition parties, they have to take a responsibility in bringing positive and developmental viewpoints and to help our country develop, rather than always bashing government. That's not going to get us anywhere after 65 years of independence.
Unfortunately,
Let's
that sounds hypocritical, but hey, what do I know?
Valuable contribution rather than,
but what I'm saying
discrediting
is, that is one of the
government.
things that are saying that when we have got our independence, it sounds, what you're saying sounds hypocritical from whichever view you say it, because anybody that comes does the same thing. How do we move away from that? Because any party that comes...
look, if anybody does it, why does it make me hypocritical?
No. What I'm saying is,
I'm
not talking about you. Portia, I'm talking about the point of how we do our politics, not you. So when I say you, I'm talking about...
That is understandable, but if you
but
say
if
that,
it wasn't, that's not what my point is. My point is,
don't think so.
If we're saying that in 65 years we need to progress, yes, we've got independence, we are looking at the way forward. Okay, any party that comes on board, we need to take certain things out, regardless of whoever is in power, partisan, and they make sure that our patriotism is actually the point of us moving forward. So now when we're doing that, how are we going to move forward?
Well, do you want to start me? Okay. Well, I think...
No, you spoke, so let him go, yeah.
There is no openness in the system. Very interesting what the Honorable Lady has said. I'm not disputing that. But they've got a wrong Ministry of Communication and Ministry of Information. They are not doing their job properly.
Okay.
We do not have, Ghanaians do not have to be told to go to www whatever.
Yes, I have to go to www.
When they came to do, we did the political campaign, they didn't say when we come you must go www.org for information. They told us straight that I'm going to give one factory,
one district, one factory,
one dog, one cat, one man, one woman. They said all these.
We never said we give one man, one woman.
You see,
no, he's just using that.
No, that one is up to you.
You see, they use all these promises. Now they have just gone into a corner and asking their communicators to come and challenge that. We don't want any challenge. We want information. Ministry of Information, that's what it was created. Ministry of Communication, that's what it's there for. Communicate information to the people. Whether opposition or not, we are all Ghanaians. Communicate, please. We will be happy to. I will be happy to know that in Cape Coast or Central Region there are 50 factories. I will be happy. See, you know what I mean? And if I may ask, I'm sure there won't be answer. Out of all these factories, how many human beings have been employed? How many people have got jobs?
Oh, we can answer it.
When they came to close down banks, with thousands of people at home, GN Bank, Group Indo Bank, they came to close it for some reason, but
they didn't give a viable reason.
No. You see, withdraw their licenses. One even Nigerian bank is in Ghana. They have not withdrawn their Zenith Bank, another Nigerian bank. They operate in Ghana. Standard Chartered, it's not a Ghanaian bank. It's from the UK. They are operating there. Barclays Bank, they are operating there. And a Ghanaian creates a bank, you close the bank down. And you think we are a good government, we are going to see the next. You're going to need 2.5 years more.
There was very good reasons why they closed the bank
two and a half
down. Maybe you
years
should
more.
list out the reasons why they closed the bank.
No. You see, 2.5 years more to go out, MPP will never come back again until the heavens are no more.
Oh, wow.
Really,
Yeah.
Ghanaians already have started calling for NPP. And if you speak to Ghanaians in Ghana, they're already saying, say, MPP will definitely stay in government.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because where we have gotten our country to, you know, it's all about taking our country to that next step, that next level. Because, look, sometimes we have to acknowledge the fact that COVID has put a major, you know, burden on our country and our finances. D, if you go to Tesco now, do you think things are the same price in Tesco? If you go to Asda right now, Morrison, wherever you need to go to shop, do you think it's the same price? No. Things are very costly because economically around the world, logistics, everything has gone high. So yeah, we are to blame because we are the government of the day. But I'm sure say NDC crown and war on that. And things will be
triple sideways and I'm holding everything in my gut not to actually bust
as high
because
than the NPP. I'm telling you, the Ghanaians are already saying, MPP will stay in government 2024 and
do you
beyond,
know that when you say that
they have seen the work we have done and they want us to continue. They don't want NDC to come back and take us back.
And you see, it doesn't mitigate.
My point,
no,
so
but make your point
please,
not in a way of being
point.
defensive, because at the end of the day, two people cannot be wrong.
It might be hitting
no,
you
two people. No,
because
not
of where
hitting
you're
me.
coming from.
Oh, no,
but
no,
you're
no,
supposed
no,
to be the host.
I am the host. That's the reason why I'm
you're not supposed
biased.
to be taking sides.
Oh no, I'm not taking sides. But what I'm saying is, if two people do not see that view, then that means there's something wrong somewhere. I'm not saying.
People. If bring a next MPP person, don't you think it'll be?
Oh no, not for me.
No.
What I'm saying is,
just because there's only one MPP person here does not mean.
Oh no. But he's not on my party. No. It's kind of like he's not on my party.
But you're
no. I'm not siding.
PPP.
Well, from a view.
To be honest, PPP has very shocked me. To be honest.
Which what?
From the previous program they did, they made very, very, shocking submission to say. Yes, they did. To say the current president owns Nkrumah regime an apology for bringing Buzia into. Listen, let me say something on that note.
Okay, please, because I don't know what went on. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, and this is my submission to my brother here. Look, you think Nanado owns CPP an apology for what?
Not own.
Have you forgotten? Sorry, 1 second. Please let me land. Have you forgotten? It got to a time that the Nkrumah government wanted a one-party state. You forgot the persecution that Ghanaians went through during his government. You forgot that we made children into spies when all they should be doing is growing up within their environment. You forgot at one point Ghanaians went through a lot of torture just because they wanted that freedom of speech. Just because they wanted that democracy to reign within our country, where we can all sit here right now and debate about our country. You forgot? You're telling me Nanado owns an apology because of what? Exactly.
Okay,
today,
please do.
How many people are not being arrested? How many journalists are not being arrested for doing their job?
Precisely.
You know what I mean? So I don't think we've got to capitalize on this cheap
So point. That's why Nanado owns CPP an apology.
No.
Kwame Nkrumah's regime and
for
apology.
overthrowing Nkrumah, the NPP, not just Nanado, Buzia, even if in the grave, dig him out to come and render apology to the people of Ghana.
Wow.
Those people fought for you and I to sit here and have a debate right now.
Let him finish his submission. You've made yours. No,
for your government
Portia, you've made your submission.
Full control of our country.
No. You said you asked him a question. Let him answer it, please.
Since Nkrumah, give me one government that has come to do what Nkrumah did. That's what we judge people by. We are going to judge. So
are we not ever going to get over Nkrumah? It's 2022 and we're still reminiscing over Nkrumah.
It's when you say that. I think, as me being a host, I think that you're being a bit disrespectful. And the reason why I say that to you, it's kind of like saying that Luther King or Malcolm X because please.
I acknowledge.
No.
I even said it previously. I acknowledge the good work Nkrumah has done. But you cannot tell me at 2022.
Let me have my submission.
I have to apologize to him.
The fact that they've told you that you can make a submission.
That's not disrespectful.
No, what I'm saying is you cannot, be disrespectful to say that you're tired of it.
Tired of what?
No, when you said Kwame Nkrumah, is it?
I never said I'm tired.
No,
of
because
Kwame.
when
never
you said
tired of Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay.
He took us to a next level in Ghana.
Okay, so
him and
you're
his
saying we should
party.
get over it.
No, what I'm saying is you cannot ask Nana Addo to apologize to Kwame Nkrumah's
So what are we
regime,
getting over?
to Kwame Nkrumah's regime because of Buzia, because of the UP tradition. Because I say that because we are forgetting the persecutions that Ghanaians or UP people went through to bring democracy
Portia, you can make
in
your
power.
point. No,
because
seriously.
you wanted, the
Portia,
CPP
Portia,
wanted a one-party
Portia,
state
calm
that
down.
made
You can make
Ghana...
your point. You can make
One
your point
second,
regardless.
Dee.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is you can
They
make your
made Ghana
point
a very,
without
very
being
unstabilized,
upset.
very, very scary country. Okay.
Who is saying that?
Yes.
People are sick
And
in the
no, no,
head.
this
No,
is
no,
it.
they are
Who's
sick in
sick
the
in the
No,
head.
head?
you guys.
Who's
They
sick
can't
in the
say that.
head?
They
Nobody's
can't say
sick in the
that.
head.
Those
This
people
is
are
history. I was not
false
born at that
foundation.
time. This is what I've read.
It's
This is what I've
persecution
learned.
like
Okay.
Hitler.
Oh,
You
wow.
should say
Persecution
is a
like-
strong word. Hitler.
Yes, there were
Hitler happened in
persecuted.
Ghana.
Yes.
Or in
And the NDC also came with Rawlings.
So
No, but you see,
persecute Ghanaians.
No, they
Yes,
didn't. They didn't.
Absolutely,
Let me
they
tell you
did.
something.
And Ghanaians know it.
No,
They
no,
came
no,
to
no,
persecute
I am
Ghana
still trying
and
to
make
be
Ghanaians
neutral
a certain
here.
tribe
you know that
uncomfortable.
they threw bombs. You know
There you
how
go.
hundreds of bombs they threw against Nkrumah.
That's
You don't
the
call
point.
that persecution. What is
Because,
persecution?
well,
So you're justifying that then?
I'm not justifying. I wasn't even born there, so you can't put all
Yes,
that on my
so-
head,
yes,
honey.
yeah, but nobody's putting anything anyway. So at the end of the day, being upset. That's why I keep saying that.
was
With
really
me,
worse.
politics. Let me tell you something. With me, I always say
Exactly.
that with me, everything that we do, yes, everything that we do in this world, we always with me when something is wrong is
You're
wrong.
making submissions
With me,
which is
at the
out
end of
of
the day,
order. Okay, and I'm telling you, say, come back from that submission. You have no right to say Nana Akufo-Addo needs to apologize for Buzia's regime. Buzia fought for our country, okay? And we are where we are now because of Buzia. Yeah, he fought for our country. Yes.
They were
He
throwing
fought for
bombs.
the
Some people were
UP.
throwing bombs all over Ghana.
why were they throwing
They
the
were throwing
bombs?
bombs because they hated Nkrumah. They wanted to get rid
Because
of
Nkrumah was
Come
a
on,
dictator.
if-
He became a dictator at the end, okay?
What is MPP
And he
doing
made
today?
Ghanaians
They are
very
arresting
uncomfortable.
journalists for doing their job.
That
Is it
does not
a
mean that
dictator?
we don't respect his history.
No, no, no. Whoever
That
wrote
does not
that
mean
to
that
you
he
to
didn't
read,
do
tell that
anything.
person is not well. The one who wrote you something for you to read.
Well, I think that
person
you
is
should
not
also
well.
get over Nkrumah since
No,
it's
no,
been
that
so
person-
many years since Ghana has developed.
And today MPP is sitting down for Ghana
65
independence.
years, we have a lot to
forbid
celebrate
them
and we
to-
do not
Oh,
want to.
wow.
endorse Ghana independence.
We do not want to be
They
still
have no
crying
right.
over
MPP
Nkrumah.
didn't want us to have independence.
Oh.
They have no right
We
to
didn't want
observe
to be
independence.
independent.
Yes.
Why-
We wanted
why-
to be under the colonial rule. Is that what you're saying?
Why do you say that MPP that didn't want us to be
They
under?
debated.
So
they
we
didn't
wanted
want
to
us
be under
have
colonial
independence.
rule.
Oh no,
now.
I want to
Okay.
understand.
They did not want us to have independence.
Why?
Yeah, because they didn't want Nkrumah to be there. That's all.
Oh.
They sent a delegation to United Kingdom to tell the Queen that they shouldn't give us the independence.
Really?
But the British government ignored that and gave us independence.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't
You
know
check
that.
it. Check it from Nanado's cabinet. He will tell you.
Okay. Did you know that?
It's a
Look,
false information. This is false information. You know.
Hansard report is there. It's there. NPP,
It's false
your communication
information. It's absolutely
directorship should have that information.
diabolical
I do have
information.
it.
Really?
I do have it. They send a delegation to protest even against we taking independence. That is why JB Dankwa, Buzia, Obechi Bilamte never attended Ghana's independence on 5th March 1957 at
No,
Polo
I
Grounds
wasn't born there.
in
And
Accra.
I think
No,
that
excuse me.
from
No,
65
excuse
years
me.
and over,
No,
we should start,
no,
you know,
being
growing up
born
a
or
little
dead
bit.
is not relevant. What we are talking about, not you born or dead, but what I'm telling you is that look, Martin Luther King, if you heard the name before,
Yes.
Yeah, of
he
course.
came to Ghana for our independence.
Yes.
Buzia, JP Dankwa, they sat in Accra. They never attended because they hated Nkrumah. They didn't want to
But
see
we
independence
fought for
Ghana.
democracy.
What?
But we fought for democracy.
I think-
that you and I
I
can
think
sit
I
here
better give
today
up. I better give
and
up
we
on
can.
that.
Yeah, you and I
give
can
up.
sit here today and we can debate.
MPP,
We didn't. We did, okay, you
No,
say
it's a very-
we didn't. You know, stand for
disgraceful
independence.
party.
But at the end of the day, we fought
independence
for
today.
you and I to be here
Today
today.
they're
to
running
discuss what
around
we're
in Cape Coast to
discussing today.
say what? They shouldn't give us any speech on independence Day because they were
Why
not
not?
part of
We are
Ghana
government
independence.
of the day.
They were not part of it. They were not part of it. They didn't accept it. They didn't accept Organization for African Unity. They didn't accept it.
What was organizational?
OAU.
Okay, I'm
Today
just saying that
is
what did
AU.
they do? Yeah, AU. Okay.
Today it's AU.
Okay, so
NPP hated it. Check it out. Check it from Nana Akufo-Addo himself.
Okay.
They hated it. And today, I mean, a few years ago, you want to stand at
What we hated was the
Addis
dictatorship
Ababa, AU
and the
office.
one party rule that they tried to implement.
What was the one
and
party
they
rule?
didn't get what they wanted.
What was the one party?
Just to make one party, which
No,
was
no,
the
the person
CPP,
giving that information, the person
the
is
only
wrong.
party in government to rule for the next 100 years or whatever it was.
That
They
person
wanted
is
Ghana
wrong.
to-
That person will
that
give
they
that
wanted
information.
only CPP to be the government of Ghana, and that was it.
Really?
And we fought, the UP fought for democracy, which you and I did, and my gentleman brother here, you know, can sit here and discuss, you know, in a democratic way. Everybody can air their views and bring out the information they can. If it was left for my brother's party, we will all be here, you know, in our shackles and, you know.
And your party was Kwame Nkrumah's party, yeah? Or what party was that? The CPP.
Yeah, what party came
So how
out
can
of
PPP
Oh, okay.
now be
We
CPP?
came
So
out
you
of
were
CPP.
Oh, okay, okay, all right.
When you go home, let them teach you. PPP came out of CPP. Every Ghanaian knows that. Otherwise, you're not part of Ghana. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Otherwise, we brag and brag, and we don't know what they're talking about Ghana. Okay? Progressive People's Party came out of CPP.
Okay.
PNC came out of CPP. GCPP came out of CPP. But
And where are all of them?
They are there in Ghana. They are all there.
Okay.
They are all there. If it's not your time, you keep quiet and sit in your corner.
Wow.
If your time comes, you bash MPP on the side.
Yeah, what's the
We
point
start
of sitting
talking.
in your corner when you need to? This is what I'm saying.
You
That
can't
all
have-
the opposition party needs to come
No, you
together and
cannot
make,
have two governments at the
make
same time.
responsible submission for the development of
Why
Ghana
did they-
and stop bashing. Come forward with some, you know, tangible, you know, development plans for our country or some information for our country. Don't come and always bash. I mean, what kind of, you know, valuable contribution is this
But
party
that-
bringing
that-
on board?
has-
That's what I want to know.
Has NPP got it?
Why did the PPP split? The CPP split into
different parties,
into different parties.
Because NPP destroyed it. They disbanded it. You remember? They disbanded it.
They did.
Because
They did
NPP
disband it. Disband the Commercial People's Party.
Really?
They did.
Okay.
They did.
Wow.
Disband it.
You see, I'm really enjoying
They
this
did
65th anniversary, because you know that sometimes there are things that you learn, and it's going to give me food for thought, and I'm going to do a lot of research because that gives you an insight to how our country, where it is now. Because you know we've been talking about the 65th anniversary, and sometimes we forget that there were other parties prior to like NDC and NPP, and then like as you said now that the CPP, the People's Progress Party, came out of the CPP. So it's kind of like, then you mentioned a lot of parties, which you know what, I've never heard. You said they were sort of like just hanging back there. So now, how are they going to hang up there if they need to? Because if you've got good ideas and you've got good incentives moving forward, why don't they come out?
Good question you've asked.
This is what I'm saying.
Do you know what they are doing?
No, that's what I'm asking.
No, they don't have to come and tell the whole world this is what we are doing.
Okay.
You don't do that until
Okay.
the right time comes. Right time will be a time to open doorways for us political campaigning
Sister,
activities to come.
never
in.
the
At
right
the
time.
moment, it will be sickening for any political party to start a campaign for 2024. Don't be must be mentally deluded. Do you
Okay,
understand?
okay.
If the curtains have been raised for political parties to start a campaign, you will see. You will see.
Oh, so it's kind of like
They're
they're
still gonna
waiting.
come third or fourth. At the end of the day, we know the two leading
No,
parties
see, I'm not taking
of Ghana
any
because the
petty-
NDC has been in government, you know, for
For how many
30 years plus,
for what?
and
For how many
NPP
years?
has been in government for whatever.
For
plus.
what? For how many years has
16
NPP been
Well,
in government?
about
From
four-
Buzia
about
to
14
Akufo-Addo.
years.
Okay.
About 14 years.
It's more
So
than that.
you can tell who the major
Buzia had 3
responsibility
years.
of the
I-
undeveloped
to the
country
14.
lies. It does not lie in NPP. You can sit there and you can bash MPP done this,
No,
MPP done that. But at the end of the day, the CPP government as a foundation was in government longer than the NPP.
No.
The NDC as a party has
No,
been
no,
in government
listen,
longer than the NPP.
No,
So
no,
who
it's-
do you think the
no,
major
she's
responsibility
coming
of
out
our
with some kind of a
downfall
joke. No,
lies?
No,
I
I'm
said
not
she's
prepared-
coming up from the-
I'm not prepared to be part of a joke. And you tell me NPP has come to power for how many years?
16. From
16.
Kufuor and
16.
Well, in the modern times, anyway.
I don't know why you're looking at me. I don't know anything
No, I'm
about your
looking at
party. I'm sorry, but
Nkrumah
Yes.
was in government for only 9 years. 9.
okay.
Not even 10. Nkrumah only 9 years. And look at so many projects he did. Nobody said for 10 that. Nobody. And we cannot put him down under a bushel.
So what should we do? Should we go and
No,
bring
you're not
Nkrumah
supposed
and
to
come
do
back or
anything.
what?
You are not supposed to do anything. But for your information, Nkrumah was in power only for 9 years. 1957 to 1966, when you were...
And we acknowledge the good work in Nkrumah.
No, don't acknowledge it.
We have to acknowledge the good work. Why?
The NPP has never acknowledged it.
We acknowledge the good work that Nkrumah did. We
When
cannot
did they
deny the good
acknowledge
work
it?
in
When
Nkrumah
was he
did.
acknowledged?
However, we
They
have to
never.
move forward as a country.
They never.
And that's where we are now. That's why we brought a great manifesto. That's why we brought great initiatives. And we are moving forward as a country. You see, we just need the mindset of the rest of the country to get on board, because we cannot do it alone as a government. We need the people to also get in line with what the projects that we have brought in place, and also get on board our initiatives that we have brought in place. And then we move on as a country. Whether MPP, whether NDC come, for example, which you will not get that chance.
Does it include the renting
The
of
country
jet,
needs
which
to
was not
get
in the
on board
manifesto?
with our mindset and be on board of the initiative.
So when you say that people should
so we
get
can
on
move
board,
forward as a
okay,
country.
Portia, when you say people should get on board, or people's mindset, how?
Of our initiatives that we have set up.
Okay. So how do you think that should be done?
What, the people?
Yes.
Well, they know a lot of people know exactly what the initiatives are.
No, I said, how do we sort of like, you know,
How
you
does
bring
the
an
people
idea.
get on board?
Yes.
Yeah, the people gets on board by actively taking part. Okay, like for example, the e-leaving.
Okay.
People want to back
You know
the
what?
e-leaving.
Before you go further, I've got something to say. There's an Adoku solicitors, yeah, was it Adoku solicitors, and with them they actually cover domestic, they cover marriage, they cover the laws of the like criminal law, and if you really want their services, they've got you can go online, you can search for them, and they're really good. They'll provide the services for you because they're one of the sponsors of this program. And moving forward, I will get their number and then I will share it with anybody that actually wants to use their services. So go ahead, Portia. Sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay.
Go
I was
ahead.
just saying that, look, one of the ways that people can get in touch is if you, for example, if you're a passionate person about agriculture, you've got a farm.
Okay,
you need
what?
to develop it. This is an example I'm giving. You
Okay.
asked the question.
Oh, no, I know I asked the question, but I realized that we're running out of time. So
Yeah.
if you can sort of like
So I'll
wrap it up a bit. Please,
okay.
thank you, sweetie.
So, for
Yeah.
example, if you are good at agriculture, you want to get into agriculture, go to, if you're from the village or something, somebody in your family will be educated to that level that can act on your behalf to find out the right information on how to actually get into agriculture, how to get the right seeds to do your planting, how to collect the your right food and to mass market it. There's always ways that you can find. Ghana will survive.
Okay.
So find a way that you can penetrate and push through. I know sometimes we've got difficult systems, and I mentioned some of the difficult systems in the past. However, there are ways around it, and the country is
You're not
developing
wrapping it up because the time is coming for the
So I'll wrap it
yes.
up by saying
Yes.
the information is out there. People know
Okay.
exactly what the government is doing. We've brought so many initiatives forward.
Okay.
I don't need to list a whole lot of them because I'm sure even you, Dee, will be able to list more than what I can tell you
Oh,
right
I don't
now.
think so. I don't give me too much because I haven't seen nothing.
You can list all of it for me. But
So, go ahead.
we have a big, we have a lot of things that we're doing in the government, and we have a lot of projections, that we're going to do in the future. And already Ghanaians have already started saying, 2024, the MPP for now.
Thank you.
Everybody
so much.
knows that 2024
Thank you.
MPP now. We're going to
Thank
continue
you
the
so
good
much.
work we're doing, and
Thank you,
Ghanaians should
Portia.
continue to have faith in us. Do not lose faith in the government.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Your submission, Mr. Kit Yosin, please. Can you give us your last
On
submission?
this occasion of Ghana's independence,
Yes.
is NPP ready to appreciate Nkrumah for leading the way for independence? That's one question.
Oh, okay. So
Are they
yes.
able to appreciate Nkrumah for what he done?
Okay.
The jobs he did, the factories he put there, they have come to destroy them. And now they are talking of rebuilding. Rebuilding Commander Sugar Factory is the biggest joke in central region of Ghana.
Okay.
It's a joke.
Thank you so much. I've got my beautiful guests. It's really nice that you're here. And I actually loved.
Thank you, Dave.
I really loved the fire. But moving forward, we hope that in the next, let's say 66 years down the line, we will have a way that we'll have much more to say next year. Thank you so much for coming. Have a lovely evening and Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence, 65 years.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah, no,